Okay. I just took a shower. So let's see. The last dress kind of took a lot out of me because patterning wise kept changing my mind. So it ended up being like a lot of patterning. So this next one, I want to do something simple. Hopefully, and hopefully I didn't just jinx it, but I want to do something simple, just using what I have. So I have these flannels, these cotton flannels. So this one I used to make like something for my nephew, and I still have some left over. And then this one has not been used yet. So I'm thinking I'll use this one if there's enough, and if not, I'll use this one. And I want to, oh, I didn't say what I wanted to make. I think I was going to make like a simple A-line pinafore that I can layer, with like tights and a long sleeve underneath and with like patch pockets. I think that's what I want to make. So hopefully it's a quick pattern to do. And get to it. So, I mean, it's just gonna be the pull on over. I want it to be roomy enough that it's just oversized, and so I can fit anything I want underneath it, including myself. So yeah, let me get started. Here's my super detailed sketch of what I want. So, just like an A-line, probably to mid-thigh, and then a V-neck. And I've been doing a lot of V-necks. I don't know, I guess I'm in a V-neck mood currently. So another V-neck, and then I'll probably just lower the arm size so there's room to put something else underneath it. And I think that's that. I thought about doing a tie or something, but I think I just want it to be loosey-goosey. I just want it to be like A-line, All right. I copied my front block pattern and marked it with markers so it's visible, and then I penciled in all the changes I want to make. So let me just walk through them. Start with another V-neck, yay! So I went down. I marked in my seam allowances just to know where they are, and then so these are measurements from the seam allowance. That's not including the seam allowance. So I went down 6 inches here at the center front, and then I went over 2 inches here at the shoulder point. So like right here, actually. Okay, so down 6, over 2, and then just connected them. Okay, and then just went perpendicular to that seam allowance, and then I just put in my 1/2 inch seam allowance here. All right, so there's the V-neck. I want there to be plenty of space for whatever I want to put on underneath this, so I am adding on a 1/2 inch to the side seam. So, but I also want to go down 2 inches to give plenty of space for the arm side for whatever sleeve is going to be in here. So down 2 inches is here. So that's 2 inches down. And then over a 1/2 inch. So that's right here. Over 1/2 inch. So that's like this. I just use this angle to go A-line all the way down, but for now I'm just gonna stop here so I can address the arm side. So then I just went perpendicular right into here for the arm side, and I just used my beat up paper French curve here to smooth this into the arm side here. So there we go, here's that. So this is the new arm side. And then I just took this angle all the way down. Okay, so just extended this line all the way down. So I also extended the waistline here just to have a guide here, an idea of where it is. I kind of used the waistline to figure out like where I wanted my how long I wanted it. So I wanted it to be like mid thigh ish. So I just like went to my waistline and then saw how long that would be for me. It's about 19 inches, so that's the length I'm gonna go with. I might dip it a little further down at the center back, but start with 19 inches here. So this is 19 inches from waist for me, you know. So I am 5'8", just for reference. So, okay. And then I did the same thing for the center front and extended that 19 inches from the waistline. Then I just made sure, I just like measured down like, you know, the 19 inches from the waistline. Is that visible? I think it's just visible. So I measured 19 inches down with the tape measure from the waistline and just marked it. And then that ended up with like a straight line here, but like, you know, it curves towards the side a bit. So there's that line for the hem there. And then I just added an inch for hem allowance. That's neat. All right, there we go. And I think that's it. Okay, so here's the front. Went down 6 inches and over 2 inches from the neckline for the V neckline. Went down 2 inches for the arm side, and then went over half an inch on the side seam, and then just followed that line that's already there down straight and extended the center front line also, and did 19 inches from the waistline to hopefully mid thigh here, and just measure that all across so it curves up a bit and stays the same length all the way across. And that's it. And then I'm just gonna, no darts, ignoring the darts, and cutting this on the fold to the center front. Let me just cross these out. No darts. So cathartic. Alright, and then fold. Okay, I'm gonna cut this out and then work on the back. I haven't done patch pockets before, so I'm just guessing here. I just figured I should just make a quick pattern here. I can always check it after I put the whole thing together and then hold it up, you know, and see if I want to change it. But for now, I just put my hand down on a paper and went like, all right, about this big. I don't know, you know. So it ended up being 8.5 long and 6 inches wide. So hopefully that's good. I guess we'll find out. And I'll be able to put my hand in easily, so even with like a 1/2 inch seam allowance, I think it should be good. So let me cut this out. Here's the edge. I'm using the paper straight edge from the scrap. All right. Okay, before I move on to the back, I figured while I'm here, just do the facing. So I just traced this. So I just traced the neckline, shoulder, arm side situation because there's not going to be a sleeve. So I can just do one facing hopefully here. So I traced it and then I just went down 3 inches on each side and just, you know, made a sloppy curve here. And, you know, I'll do the same thing for the back and hopefully face the whole top at the same time. All right, onto the back now. For real, after I cut this out. So here are the front pattern pieces. Here's the A-line front, here's the facing, and here's the patch pocket for now at least until I have this put together and I can see proportions and where it should go, etc. Okay, I need to stop for lunch now and then I'll do the back later. Okay, so I've copied my back block pattern and penciled in my changes. Let me walk through those. All right, let me just start with the neckline. So I penciled in my 1/2 inch seam allowance. So like the front, I just went over 2 inches from the seam allowance here. So that's like right here. And then I went down 1 inch from the seam allowance here. So I went down 1 inch in the center back and 2 inches over on the shoulder. And then just squared over from the shoulder and the center back. And then I just used my French curve to connect this into a curve. So there's a neckline, and then I added on my 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, there's my 1/2 inch seam allowance. And then for the arm side, I did the same thing I did for the front. I don't know if I mentioned before, I went down 2 inches. That's including the seam allowance. So I usually do that for the arm side, but I went 2 inches, including seam allowance here. So that is right here. So down 2 inches. And then I went over, so that's right here, down 2 inches. And then I went over that 1/2 inch for just the side seam like I did for the front. And then I just went straight over for that. So that's the new seam allowance. And then so this is the point where I curved up with my French curve into the existing arm side. Like that. So this is the new line. I did have this here just as to show me. And then I also this is from, disregard this, from the scratch. But I also took away the 1 inch in the back that I have for a zipper because it's going to be done on the fold. I mean, assuming I have enough fabric, but it should be done on the fold. And let's see. I'm also not going to do the dart here either. So that's out. And then for the side seam, I actually just copied the front pattern. So let me grab that. Okay, bear with me here. I know it's like transparent, so that can be confusing. But here's the front pattern that I just made, this morning. And what I did was I marked in my seam allowance on both of these, what I had, and then I matched up like this corner here, the corner where there's not seam allowance. And then I just used that to trace the front. Now I also checked to see how long this would be from the back waist, and the back waist would actually make it this much shorter. Well, plus 1 inch, so probably so this much shorter. So this is just hem allowance. So included when I traced this, but so I'm just gonna leave that because I'm I'm okay with it being longer in the back, you know. And I can adjust it if need be later. So I just traced that, and then to make things easier to sew here, I've also traced this here and then connected it up into the arm side, if that's visible here, so that it will just match up easily. So let me just marker that to show. Do it with one hand here. So I just marked it around here and then connected this to the arm side, made that little change so that I can just match this up really easily and sew it up. I hope that's clear. So I'm just gonna, I penciled that in, so I'm just gonna trace that with my marker now. Okay, future me is going to have to interject here because I saw the reveal footage afterwards and I think I needed more fullness in the back. Like the front is appropriately tent-like, but the back is not nearly tent-like enough for my taste.
So, I mean, I want to be able to fit a whole other person in there, and it just wasn't able to even fully accommodate my behind, you know? It just kept getting caught at the small of my back. So I think it's a simple enough fix. I think when I matched up the front pattern side seam at the top, I should have swung it out before tracing it so that there was more fullness in the back and it would be as tent like as I would like it to be. So I think it's an easy enough fix. I don't think I mentioned this in the outro because I just hadn't seen the footage yet. Maybe I'll add like a note at the end or something. Okay, back to the regular patterning.
Okay, let me just run through this before I cut it out. So I went over 2 inches on the shoulder and down 1 inch, made perpendicular lines, and then just curved it for the back neckline. And then I just added the 1/2 inch seam allowance there. Yeah. Wait, do I want to make it shallower? Maybe actually. Let me hold.
Less, like that, like a little more shallow.
Okay, I'm just gonna go over and summarize my changes real fast. Okay, so I went over 2 inches for the shoulder, 1 inch down for the center back neckline. I took away that 1 inch I have in my block for the zipper because it's gonna be cut on the fold. And for the neckline, I just went perpendicular out from center back and the shoulder and just curved it how I wanted. Adjusted the curve here because I wanted it a little tighter, I think. And for the arm side, I went down 2 inches, including the seam allowance for this, just this part. And then I curved the arm side up into the existing arm side from there. And then I got my front pattern piece and matched it up here, excluding seam allowance just at that point, and then used that to then just trace a side seam and the bottom. And that already includes like the hem allowance from the front. This is going to be longer than the front, I believe, because when I measured down from the waistline here, this plus 1 inch for the hem is where that would be. So it's an extra couple inches, which I'm not mad about. You know, more coverage in the back is good with me. So yeah, and that's the back pattern. So I'm just going to cut that out. I did the facing while I was here, so I just traced all of this here, and then just went down 3 inches. I made a mistake, so I had this one is 2, but it's this one. I went on 3 inches here and 3 inches here, center back and below the arm side seam, and then just curved it in and labeled it Pinafore back facing. Let me put fold here. I'm realizing too that I need to label everything. So let me go through and label all my pattern pieces too with Pinafore and what it is. Okay, don't mind like this and this. I still need to put away other patterns. But here's the Pinafore pattern now. So here is the back facing, front facing, patch pocket. And yeah, so I'm gonna cut it out. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see. Hopefully this will be a quick sew, and I can get some use out of it. Okay, so I skipped yesterday. It's late at night now. I think it's like 1:30 in the morning. My sleep has been all over the place, so I'm up. So I think I am going to try to cut it out right now, and yeah, that's probably all I'm going to do. I have laid it out already. Okay, I've already laid it out on this fabric because there just is not enough of this one. I'm gonna have to make something else with it. So it's unfortunate, but that's okay. So I do have this one. So I mean, it does have some like purpley burgundy-ish in it, which I guess is, you know, in right now, which I mean, it's in every fall, I feel like, but that's fine. So yeah, so all fits here. That's on the fold there. So it's just, I just folded it lengthwise, or left it folded lengthwise. And I think I washed it, so I hope I'm right about that because it's a cotton flannel, so it will shrink. But I'm just gonna cut it out, and I think I'm gonna wait on the pockets because I might want bigger pockets. I'm also wondering, I looked up like how to like sew patch pockets, and I'm wondering if I need to add more around it actually because you need extra at the top to fold it in twice. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait on that. But the rest of this I'm gonna cut out, and I'm gonna see if I can like. I'll just do what I did before and like, well, I don't know, maybe I can cut it out on the floor because it's like a simple pattern. We'll see. I'm gonna have to take it up to the table. Okay, so I was about to cut out the facings and I realized like I just went real narrow here. I wasn't paying attention, so I just widened that. So it won't be this little skinny thing. And same side, so I'm gonna cut it down. Just general shape. Right, everything except for the pocket is cut, so that's great. And they're really simple pieces, and there's only 4 of them, so it only took me like 45 minutes to cut, so great. Plus, flannel is kind of sturdy, a nice reprieve from the floopy, I think it was rayon. There it is, that rayon fabric I just used, so that's great. And yeah, so I am gonna stop here, I think. Tomorrow I'm gonna serge everything and hopefully I can just like plow through the construction of that so that I can then figure out what size I want to make this. But for now, that's it. All right, so next day. I didn't feel like putting on my uniform today, my flannel uniform, so I dug out. Apparently I was saying orange, so here we are. It's very wrinkled, but it's not a flannel. So I think today I'm gonna start with doing some serging. So I'm gonna serge the side seams and the sides of like the main body and the facing and the bottom of the facings. I think that's it. And then I'll move on to like actually doing the facings. I think. So, and yeah, and then I'll have to just serge the pockets once I figure out what size those are. So let's see how far I can get. It would be great if I can just get the main construction done at least. So let's see. Okay, I serged the parts I was gonna serge and the shoulders because I accidentally serged like one shoulder on one of the facings and then I felt like I needed to even it out, which makes no sense. I could just left one serged. But now all the shoulders are serged fine, you know, it'll be fine. But now I think I'm just going to do the facings for both like the front and for the back. I'm just going to do the neckline and armholes. So I'm hoping I can put these on and then I can like do that way where you tuck it like the back and the front into each other and then you can sew up the shoulder cleanly. We'll see how that works out. So for now I'm just gonna pin all of this. Actually, before I do that, I'm just gonna mark in the neckline because that'll just be easier. Alright, so I also marked the arm side. It's not perfectly matched up, so I just marked it also. It'll be fine. So I'm gonna do the back also, and before I go to the sewing machine so that I can just, you know, plow through them all at once. At least like go through the necklines and arm size. Alright, I'm just gonna do up the neckline and the arm side on both of them. The front and the back. I think I'm about thread until right this second, so I don't have matching thread. I have this one and I'm just gonna use this gray bobbin and like it's kinda tan. And they're not, I figure they're medium-ish in tone at least. Or depth, or I don't know what word to use for that, but hopefully it'll be fine. So I'm just gonna use these. I'm just gonna clip and understitch while I'm here. I got through serging and putting on the facings and clipping and understitching them like to the facing. And for the front and the back. And you know, I thought I would get let me put this back. I thought I would get further than I did, but it took me a little over a couple hours. But I always seem to underestimate how long it takes to do the facing part because I always think like I just sew on the facing real fast, like oh, but then also clip it and then also understitch it, you know. So that's enough for now. And then next time I'll pick up at putting the shoulders together. Then I have like the shoulders, side seams, figure out the pockets and the hem. So I don't know if I can do all that in one go, but like we'll see how far I get next time. That's enough for now. Okay, it's the next day. Alright, it's the next day and I feel better today. I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I got more than yesterday, so. Okay, so I need to put the shoulder seams together today. I had to remember what I needed to do. Okay, I need to do that. I'm a little worried about how wide the front is. I'm hoping it turns out okay. But yeah, let me start on the shoulder seams and then side seams, and then I gotta figure out the pockets and where I want them and how big I want them. Okay, let's go. I guess first I'm gonna cut off all these shoulder tails just because of one shoulder. I'm trying to remember how to do this to get a clean finish on the shoulders. Let me smoosh in there. So, all right. So I think this right side out, and then I just finger press that. Okay, so this one right side out, and then shoulder here. So it's right sides together, and then three. No, it needs to be this way. So it's right sides together. Right. Yeah. Okay. So like this, and then in here. So like the front and back right sides together, and the one tucked inside is right side out. Oh, I'm missing. Okay. So the back is right side out with the main back part of the back facing the main part of the front, and then the front is inside out with the facing inside out, and then tuck these in to the shoulders here, and then I just line up the seams. I think that's correct. Hopefully that's correct. I'll do that, and then I'm gonna try to straight so I can get it in here. And that's it. And then I think I'll just clip it. It's really thick. So I think the other side also. Alright, so I'm just gonna sew that 1/2 inch here on both shoulders. And hopefully that's right. Alright, shoulders are sewn. Now let me just let's see if it's the right way to do it. Just pull it out. Yeah. Success. So yay. So now I think I'm gonna iron this because it's gonna be easier right now, and then clip the side seams to sew. His side seams clipped. For the best part about like cotton, like whether it's this or the other cotton I use for the black dress, is that I can use clips. It doesn't move. It kind of sticks to itself. So that's great. So I'm just gonna use clips and not poke myself. Yeah, I'm thinking of shortening it like maybe 4 inches. Maybe 4 inches. It's like a weird length. I feel like for this shape, it needs to be either way longer or shorter. Okay, I think this is much better. Like, it's better proportionally. It's better proportionally. All right, I'm just gonna hem it now. Probably just turn it up twice. Kind of narrow, because I don't want to lose any more length. I always do this. I always cut a teensy bit too much, and I want to preserve any length I have. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I wasn't able to work on the Pinafore yesterday. Just some stuff happened and I wasn't able to. So I have been thinking about the patch pockets. And when I was trying it on, my husband was like, "Oh, are you going to school?" So, I'm a middle-aged lady, so I don't want it to look too juvenile if I can help it, So, not that it matters, honestly, but I think also just the shape I cut is kind of really, it's very like tent-like and short, which, and I am worried too that patch pockets will make it hang differently, maybe? I have no idea because I've never done patch pockets, but it feels like it might, So I'm thinking maybe instead to just do inseam pockets And because I do ideally want somewhere to put my hands. I know pockets are for like stuff, etc., but like I really like having somewhere to put my hands. That's nice, you know? So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I think I'm just gonna cut out the pockets, like the pocket pattern I had. The one that I made for the black dress. So there should be plenty of fabric to cut out 4 of these, hopefully. And then I'm gonna have to seam rip and figure out like where to put them. And then, yeah, just do that. I'm hoping I can get this done quickly. I'm hoping I can get it done right now, you know? But let me see how fast I can go. Looks like there's plenty of space even just in this top scrap. So I'm just gonna cut four of those out, or I guess 2 because it's double layered there right now. Okay, so I tried it on, and I think I can put them in about 7.5 inches below the side seam. I think that's the maximum it could show. It's like that much. So there should still be space down here, so it won't show, right? Correct? Anyway, we shall find out here. So, anyway, so I tried it on and I clipped it where I thought it would be okay. So I went down 7.5 inches from the top of the side seam, and so I turned it inside out and just marked it with my pen. Let me zoom that in. Ugh. Okay, so I marked that 7.5 inches here with my heat erasable pen, and then I just put the pocket pattern here and marked on this side as well with my pen, like here and here, just so I know where to seam rip. Because I don't want to undo the whole seam and the hem to put this in. I'm hoping that'll work fine. So I guess I'm just going to seam rip past this so that it will be easier to sew before I move on to the actual pockets themselves. Alright, I went a couple inches past on each side, so hopefully that's enough to be able to maneuver this. Alright, I'm just going to serge all 4 of these pocket pieces before I put them in the side seams. Alright, the pocket pieces are serged all around, and I turned the dress right side out, and so I can sew this right sides together. I don't have to think about this because the last couple times this on pockets, last time I was on pockets, like it was the same on both sides. I do wish this fabric was plaid on both sides, but clearly it's just printed on. Not ideal, but here we are. So I'm just gonna clip it here to where that mark is that I did, 7.5-ish inches down from the top of the side seam. I'm hoping I can just use clips here so I don't get poked. That's always my goal. Use clips. Don't get poked. Alright, so I'm going to clip the other side also and just sew separately on each side, like at or near the the seam holes that are already there, and then I'll come back and do the rest of it, or I can do it there probably. So then I have to sew this on and then turn it and then sew it on the other way, and then come back and clip the 2 sides together. All right, so sewn on like this, and then turned over in the seam allowance, stitched down onto the pocket to keep it in this position. And then now I am just going to put it together. Maybe I turn it inside out. It's like it's definitely making my brain work more to have to put this in after. But I think like this. Yeah. All right. So turn it back inside out. And then I'm just going to clip it together. Right, so now I'm going to do this to the other side also. So I'm just going to sew down where I opened up the side seam, and then around the pocket, and then down again to close up where I opened it. Then do the other side too, and then hopefully that's it. All right, pockets are in. So I think that's it. I think it's done. Yeah, this one was shorter, so I appreciated that. But I'll film the reveal tomorrow. Okay, I like it. I think the Pinafore came out cute, and I'm glad I didn't put patch pockets on it because I think that would make it skew younger, and I am glad I put in side seam pockets because I also like the pockets and somewhere to put my hands, you know. And I also think that it's a little short center front here, but I think I put on tights and it's fine. I think the mock neck, the black mock neck and black tights and black Mary Janes with a ponytail and the glasses, I styled like this to make it feel cleaner. I think like a little cleaner and I was trying to age it up a bit because, you know, I want it to feel more, I'm a middle-aged lady, you know? I want it to feel like an outfit for an adult. And so I think part of the reason it could skew younger is because it's a plaid. I think if it was in a solid light gray or a tweed or like a camel solid color, I think it would be even easier to like age up a bit, you know? I do like the shape and I like the clean look of it. Like it's very geometric and I like that. There's enough space in here where I could put a sweater on underneath also, which is nice, you know, in the winter time. Like it's like in the 20s right now where we are. So yeah, I think easy sew, easy pattern, easy wear. You know, I just would put tights on with it, or leggings would work too. And you know, and you can like change things out, what you put on underneath it. You could put on a short sleeve, a sweater, you know, etc. And you know, any color tights, etc. So I think it's pretty versatile. I do think like I would like this more in a solid, but I think as is it's nice too. So yeah, I think I'd recommend it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.
I just want to reiterate that I think if I were to make this again, I would add more fullness to the back, because whenever I was putting my hands in the pockets, I noticed in the footage that the back had a tendency to get caught at the small of my back, just above my behind. So I would like more fullness in the back, a full tent please, just like the front. So yeah, just add that change, that small and quick change I would make, and hopefully I think that would fix it, just swinging out the side seam more. All right, thanks for watching.